Hello, everyone. So one of the things that's a little bit weird about my YouTube channel is that I very sporadically upload, and some of the videos are from when I was really young, and I was hiding in my parents' basement, and I was like trying to show off these vanilla redstone contraptions that I made, right? And a lot of my videos, I'm like whispering, and I can't control an F5. This is hard. I'm whispering because, I'm hiding in my parents' basement at 2 o'clock in the morning to try and show the world this amazing redstone contraption that I've made. So those days have passed slightly, but I still fucking love this game. And recently, on my YouTube channel, I've been getting a lot of notifications for new subscribers, which I thought was a little weird because I haven't uploaded anything in a while. And then I realized something. It's because of coronavirus. And given everyone's trapped inside, well, most of us, you might hear some birds. I'm not trapped inside. I'm sitting on a deck right now. But, given that people are trapped inside with coronavirus, I figured I might give a world tour of this realms that I've been playing with 2 friends with. Well, actually a couple more than that, but 2 mainly. So we've been sort of sharing this world. We're building a dwarven city. And I thought I would share it off, talk about life or whatever, Minecraft for a little bit, show it off, and see how bored you guys are, because if people are actually watching this means you guys are really reaching for content at this point, and I understand because of the quarantine and, social distancing and all that, but damn, guys. Alright, so this is Erebor. So it's a realms world. So if you want the seed, that's the seed. So I can't take credit for everything. In fact, I didn't do a lot of the decorative work because that's not really what my forte is. It's more doing random little redstone things. So Erebor, if you don't know, is the city that Smog takes over from the dwarves in The Hobbit. Well, I guess he took it over before The Hobbit, but that's kind of what it's based off of. So it's supposed to be kind of modeled off of a dwarven city, and here we are at the coordinates about 200, 800, and there was just this amazing, just hollowed out area of, in between the mountains. It's basically in a valley, so we decided to settle down here. So if we start off the entrance, so where we are in this world, it's about a week, maybe a week and a half old, and we have killed the Ender Dragon, but we haven't killed a Wither or anything like that. We don't even have an XP farm yet, but yeah. So, some of the things, so if you just notice, the dude who went aesthetically, damn dude, this looks good, but I'll just show you what we got set up so far. So, welcome to the Corona Tour 2020. So one of the first things that we have is a kelp farm, a really simple automatic kelp farm. So these pistons back here are connected to a daylight sensor, and you can't actually see the water, but there's water in there, which is why the kelp is growing. So these pistons trigger when it becomes day, and then since items float, they float to the top, and then there's a little water stream sort of thing that pushes them into here. They'll drop into this water stream, and that will push them into this item hopper and collect kelp passively. So this has been going on for basically as long as the server. It was pretty slow, but we don't use kelp that often, so yeah. Over here is just a new place that we've just started to develop. That's I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know what's happening here. Okay. So nothing new, nothing really in this section for right now. So there's this random button on the ground that actually opens up to a strip mine that we have. I don't really like strip mining, but, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, you know what I mean? And then a bubble stream that takes us up, so it's nice and disguised. And we actually end up in this water stream. That's part of this was naturally part of the mountain already, so I thought that was kind of cool. There's a bunch of random little gizmos hidden around, for example. Which I'm sure you're all enjoying. there's actually this up here. That's Artemis. He is guarding our storage room. So this is our storage room. It's just a 3-piston door hooked up to a doorbell. And these are kind of the things that we have. So in terms of where we are in riches, we have 27 diamonds. But we're actually pretty rich because we've killed it. But more than that is villagers are OP as fuck. And right to the right here, we have our OPS villagers. So this guy, this was the very first villager we cured, Gimli, zombie villager. And his very first enchantment was Mending, Protection, Silk Touch, and Efficiency 5. So that's an insane villager. So we actually have really good tools, even though we're dirt poor still. Yeah, so if we go up here, this is our nether portal. So here's a different alternative view. I'm not going to show you the nether because it's disgusting, and at some point we're actually going to reset the nether because for 1.6, the nether update, you know, don't really want to build anything before that. So this world will hopefully be around for a little bit of time, and it's still in its beginning stages. So then the biggest project that we've probably completed is a mob system. So the caves around here are kind of lit up. Kind of. And this, you may have been hearing some xylophone sounds, and every time an item flows into one of these chests, like so, it plays a xylophone sound. The mob system is a really simple setup. So it is, so this world, just by the way, is completely vanilla. Yeah, I just have a texture pack on, so in case you're wondering what it looks like, basically there's just a water flow, and this is the center of the farm. We have this connected to a hopper clock. Every so often it switches, and then this power, so this turns off for a brief second, this turns on for a brief second, powers this observer, and since it's a fast enough pulse, it just puts all the water out there, like so. And then you see it disappeared. That's because the redstone signal went around, and it goes into a monostable circuit and powers this redstone right here for, again, to turn it off a little bit later. Pretty simple design. And then at the bottom, it's just a bunch of hoppers. They fall into a magma blocks, and a hopper goes underneath that and collects all of that jazz. So it's probably not the most efficient, but it's definitely good for now, and we're actually getting the resources that we need. It's actually fairly quick, too. So this has probably been out for, I want to say, like, a few hours. And we've used a lot of the resources already, but yeah, so I need to make this look a little bit more pretty, and this whole section a little bit more pretty as well, but, you know, that's life. Over here, we have our enchanting table. And here is our trades from all of the villagers. So we have a ton of feather falling, mending, protection, silk touch, infinity, all of the books from the villagers. So that's really freaking OP. Currently, you may notice that the way that I'm surviving is off of pumpkins. So over here, we have a nice little pumpkin farm. It's manual right now, unfortunately, but at some point, maybe we'll upgrade it. So we just have pumpkins, we have eggs over here, an automatic egg collection system. That part is automatic, but then we just eat the sugar canes or turn the sugar canes into sugar and harvest the pumpkins and get pumpkin pie, and that is our current food source. It's not very saturated, high saturation, but it works. So really what we were trying to go for in terms of the aesthetic look was like, you know, these little mountain pathways going through the side of the hills. Yeah. There's just random starts of like little redstone things all around that I haven't completed yet. Yeah, it's a good time. Is there anything else? Oh, I guess I could talk about... So the way that this works is every single time it goes through, so just to look at this a little bit more, so at the end here you can really easily just hook up a note block, and every time that, so this is an item filter, so there's a filler items and then whatever item that goes through. So for example, if I put that in there, it will filter just that, and it will also make this redstone signal extend 1, and that will power the note block, but it also powers this comparator / repeater. I ran out of repeaters halfway through, so I decided to use comparators. It doesn't really matter. Unpowers this torch and lets items through. So it plays like a little instrument every time we get mobs or mob drops, which might really quickly get annoying, but what can you do? Oh, over here. So over here is a very simple. I just heard a creeper, I think. So over here is just a very simple auto smelter. This one is a smoker. These two are normal furnaces, and this is a ore furnace or a blast furnace. Yeah, and we just toss all of our stuff in there. Oh my gosh, we actually have cooked chicken. That's exciting. And then aesthetically, we were trying to use the lava as like sort of what's powering everything. Is kind of what the look that we're going for. So our base is really lit up by lava, and just like lava is supposed to be a fundamental part of this playthrough in a way. So I don't know how long this world is going to last, but it's a fun realms. Yeah, I've been enjoying it. Minecraft is one of those games where it's like, you can come back to it after years, and it's still a great fucking time, honestly. And that's what I like about it. So, if you guys are, in a corona situation, what we decided to do was, make it so that all of our friends that play Minecraft would, I just made a realm, and it's $7 a month, which, if you have at least a little bit of income is fine. So we actually split it 3 ways, so we paid $2 a month basically, which is pretty solid for having an entire Minecraft world that you can share with friends, and it's super easy to set up and so forth. I actually really like the realm system. Oh, what the lord. So clearly we need to work on our mob spawns a little bit. Yeah. So if you're in quarantine, highly recommend realms. It is some A plus playthrough, and you get to interact with your friends, and it's a good time. Also, I'm using a shader pack, so let's look at that real quick. Or I'm not using a shader pack, a resource pack. So this is additional realism. I really like it. You have to fiddle around with the settings for a while, but I think it makes the aesthetic just slightly more pleasing. Also Optifine. So, yeah. Hopefully, if you're watching this, then that means that you're really bored. So, hopefully, you find something to entertain yourself. Highly recommend Realms. I hope you guys have a good day. Stay safe out there. Remember to stay 6 feet apart. Wash your hands. All that jazz. I'm actually a biologist. So, it's kind of an interesting thing that's happening in the world for me right now, because I get to understand it on a different level. Alright, lads. Good luck. Goodbye.